Welcome, everybody, to All About Articulation, where we do a deeper dive into the articulation of some of your favorite action figures while glossing over things like sculpt, paint apps, accessories, character history, because I suck at that. And there are already so many great reviews on YouTube who do that already, so I don't want to waste your time. Today, we are reviewing the Atom Toys Super Strong 1/12 scale action figure body by Atom Toys. I think I said it already. Technically, this is called the Atom F001 figure, F001, but I'm just going to call them the Super Strong body moving forward, okay? The Super Strong body, it's a blank body action figure made for customizers to paint, mod, sculpt, or for artists like me who really got into collecting action figures to use as models for my artwork. But then it got sucked into the hobby because of nostalgia and because I'm weak. Okay, mostly because I'm weak. If you want to jump straight into the articulation of this figure, hit the timestamp in the description below. Or if you want to hear me blabber, feel free to keep watching. Okay, so let's talk Atom Toys. Who are these people? I don't know. I've never heard of them before. Are they some new kids on the block? This was a gamble for me, but I looked at it. Looked good in preview photos. It was relatively inexpensive at $36 on Big Bag Toy Store, so I figured, why not? I don't have a large, muscular, beefy, highly articulated blank body, and my initial thoughts out of the box were, it's good. It's really good. I like it a lot. And the posing, the articulation is fantastic. The quality, the feel. Off the bat, some pros. It is big. It is beefy. It is muscular. If they ever do decide to make a darker skin, black, African American version of this, I would get it in a heartbeat. Because it would make the perfect, and I mean perfect, Luke Cage. Like, I'm working on my own sort of soft goods, custom Luke Cage at the moment, based off of the V-Toys body. I already have the head. I got the shoes. All I need would be a yellow t-shirt and some jeans, and I think the size and scale is perfect. Luke Cage stands about 6'6", for example. Here, Cable. Luke Cage is about 6'6". Cable, this is Marvel Legends Cable. Cable is he's listed at about 6'8". So I think that if I can make this into a Luke Cage, I think the scale would be perfect. It would be absolutely perfect. Being that he's 6'8", Luke Cage would be a 6'6" figure. I mean, look at that. That would make an awesome. See that? That would make it perfect. That would make an awesome Luke Cage. And the articulation is great for a big, chunky character. Many, if not most, manufacturers always sacrifice articulation when they make big characters. I really don't know why. Some of the most flexible people I know are weightlifters, bodybuilders. Just because someone's big doesn't mean that they can't be flexible. It's a ridiculous notion. So, well, we'll get into the articulation later. But the material is great. It's fantastic. It's made of what feels like really high quality, durable plastic, as opposed to the gummy feeling plastic that so many Marvel Legends has nowadays. If you know, you know. And it feels real solid in hand. It's not cheap and hollow like a lot of SH Figure Arts figures or even some Mafex, does nowadays. The upper torso and the Speedo and the hands are made of really soft, rubbery plastic. It's hard to show on camera, but it's very, very soft and rubbery. Think Storm Collectibles, what they do. That allows for a more seamless look, especially around the neck area. But that, because it's so soft, it allows for maximum head and neck articulation. So you could get that real nice squeeze there. And there's a peg that goes inside the neck, and you could articulate it very well and it doesn't hinder any of the articulation because it's so soft and spongy. The cons now. The cons of this figure, the butterfly joints, and nor the motion. The arms don't come together very well, if at all. So here you go. You got this. That's about as far together as his hands could come from a bird's eye view. A little bit more range in the bicep would have been nice, because it's a double joint, but it only hits about 90 degrees, a little bit past 90. And big muscles are going to do what big muscles are going to do, though. Am I right? I wish the feet were a little bit bigger, just for standing purposes. Because see, if you look at like the feet of someone of a comparable size, Cable, here, look how big the difference is in feet. So when you got bigger feet, you got a bigger hand. No, when you got bigger feet, you got a better ability to stand. What I've noticed with the super strong body is that he tips over a lot easier, as opposed to the Marvel Legend Cable over here. He stands very solid. So for future reference, a little bit bigger feet would have been nice. But then again, if you're just going to customize them and put on your own feet or boots, that doesn't really come into play. But that's just a nitpick, Like I said, if you're going to customize them, it's not that big a deal. Here's another nitpick, and I do admit, it's a nitpick, okay? It's a nitpick. But if you look at his profile, right? And here I have him standing in the neutral position. So I'm going to make him stand as straight as possible. His neck is sculpted in a way that makes him look a little hunchback. It gives him a weird curvature of the spine look. Now, compared to Cable, for example, if he stands straight, Cable's got that straight. He can stand straight up, back straight, neck straight. Look at the strong body over here. He looks like when he gets older, he's going to have the posture of a jumbo shrimp. It's like the onset of a spinal disease. It's a nitpick. I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, again, not many faults with this figure. But if I had to be nitpick, because hey, I'm here to give constructive criticism. Okay, but I want to compare him to some of these other blank bodies that I do have. Here's the V-Toys. Let me get this out of the way. Here is the Nota Toys. I believe that's the slim wide body. Okay. This out the way. This is the NW Toys. Move him back here. Move him here. Move the Toys here. So he is much bigger, much taller, much thicker, chunkier, beefier. This is the Crazy Figure Take That Studio comic hero scale body. This is a bit of a more exaggerated exaggerated comic book look, a little less, I guess, realistic, with more sort of exaggerated proportions. But he is a big, wider, stronger body that is comparable to the Atom Toys Super Strong body, but not as thick, not as beefy and hulky. So yeah, there you go. These are my current blank bodies available. I also have the GW Toys body, but I'm using that for another figure, so he's on the shelf. But that's the comparison size-wise to some other blank bodies that I have. Okay, all right. Another thing real quick is that I do see online that there are some pre-orders going around from 5K Toys that is using this body, I believe, for a Superman figure. It's unlicensed, so it's not called Superman. It's called National Defender. I believe I'll put the picture right over here, and you can see for yourself. It looks fantastic. So I'm guessing that this figure that you purchase, it's going to have the head, the boots, the cape, obviously the costume, and it's gonna be put onto this blank body. So that just gives you an idea of what this body would look like. Now, I do not have any sort of confirmation about the quality of this figure, nor do I have a confirmation that it's actually using the Atom Toys Super Strong body. But I did see a post by 5K Toys on their official Instagram's account saying that it's on the Atom body. So take that for what you will. Do your own research. I'm just showing you guys what I found floating around online. But he looks amazing, so I might have to put a pre-order in for that. And I think it's going to go for about $80, but don't quote me on that. Look above. It's on the 5K Toys website. Okay, Articulation. Now, Articulation is great. He's got 2 points of articulation, 2 points of articulation in the neck, but only one that you see, because the other ball joint is down below in the neck. And because this is so soft and spongy, that it doesn't really hinder any sort of movement. So you could see that the peg can move back and forth. See that? And then you pop the head back on, and then it can move as well. So he can look up this far, which is a great amount. He can look this far down, which is a great amount, but you do get that gappage. But if you can sort of fudge it, maybe it's less noticeable. He's got a great T-pose. I mean, it's a Y pose, right? No butterfly joint, as we saw. He can rotate his arm all the way around. We know how that works. He's got a bicep swivel that goes all the way around. We know how that works. He's got 2 points of articulation in the elbow, but he can only bend about a little past 90. But he's a big, strong dude, so I can live with that. Can't quite scratch his own shoulder, unfortunately. But he can hold his head. He can palm his own head, singing, "Why? Why do I buy so many action figures? Why?" Oh, I think there was a gunshot just happened outside my apartment. Anyway, he's got the multi-directional wrist joint. They can go in all directions. We know how that works. Very soft, pliable hands with fingers. He's got 2 points of articulation in the abs, 2 ball joints, one in the upper, one in the lower. Isolating just for the upper. That's how far forward he can bend. This is how far back he can extend. Isolating just the lower ball joint. This is how far forward he could bend. He crunches abs. And this is how far back he can extend his back using the lower ball joint. And together, he can bend forward that much. Nice deep crunch. He can extend his back that far back like a cat. Looking like he's in the Beijing traveling circus. He's got no drop down hips, but he can absolutely do a split. Look at that, huh? Look at that. Some of the biggest dudes I know can do splits. I'm not even joking. Like, they're jacked. They look like bodybuilders and they can do splits. He's got double jointed knees that can bend his far that back. That far back. He can kick forward that far forward. And because of the soft speedoness, he could kick back pretty far. Okay. No swivel in the thigh, no swivel in the boot. And he's got a double ball joint in the ankle. So he can't really get that much movement. Although, actually, I mean, he can get enough. It's pretty good for double ball joints that I've seen for ankles anyway. I mean, some like Mezco, for example, it's the same articulation concept that Mezco does, but they are terrible in terms of ankle articulation range. So I will give Atom Toys some benefit of the doubt here. You can get a good amount. Oh, and yeah, the feet are also very soft, just like the hands, so the feet can pop off real easily. And you pop it back on. But yeah, He can point his toes down that far, and he can point his toes up. That far up. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. So yeah, overall, I really like this figure. I think it's a good quality figure for a big buff guy. Great for a Luke Cage, a character who I feel is about 6'6", between 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", maybe even 6'10". You know, he can make a great Luke Cage, make a great Cable. Like I showed you before, he can be even some third-party manufacturers are going to even try to make him into a Superman, but we'll see how that works. But yeah, if you're in the market for a well-articulated, quality, blank body for customizations, you might want to check him out. $36, not bad. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.